A very good afternoon to all of you. You're watching Midday News. My name is Aditi Nakwal Girotra. Let's get the bulletin rolling with the headlines first. Prime Minister Modi to address poll rallies in Haryana and Maharashtra. Senior BJP leader Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh campaign in Maharashtra and Haryana. Rahul Gandhi leads Congress charge in Haryana. ED questions NCP leader Praful Patel in money laundering case linked with illegal assets of gangster Iqbal Mirchi. Piyush Goyal says investigation fully free and fair. India among the fastest growing economies, best destination in the world for investors, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Washington. Asserts trade talks with US to conclude soon. Turkey agrees to 5-day ceasefire in northern Syria against Kurdish forces. US President Trump welcomes decision by Vice President Mike Pence and Turkish President Erdogan. Says sanctions on Turkey no longer necessary. NASA all set to create history with first all-women spacewalk today. Astronauts Christina Koch and Jessica Meyer gear up for their maiden excursion. Spacewalk to replace a faulty battery charger in International Space Station. PM Narendra Modi is campaigning in Haryana's Gohana. Let's go straight to the rally.
आपको याद है ना 5 अगस्त को क्या हुआ था? 5 अगस्त को वो हुआ जिसकी कोई कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकता था, जिसकी देश ने एक तरह से उम्मीद ही छोड़ दी थी। 5 अगस्त को जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत का पूरा संविधान लागू हुआ, पूरा कानून लागू हुआ। 70 साल से जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख के विकास में जो सबसे बड़ी रुकावट थी, वो हमने 5 अगस्त को हटा दी। लेकिन भाइयों और बहनों, तभी से एक कांग्रेस वालों में, उनकी मिली भगत वालों के पेट में ऐसा दर्द उठा है, ऐसा दर्द उठा है कि कोई दवा काम ही नहीं कर पा रही है। ये कांग्रेस के पेट में दर्द कांग्रेस की लाइलाज बीमारी बन गया है। और कांग्रेस को ऐसी बीमारी हुई है, ऐसी बीमारी हुई है, हम स्वच्छ भारत की बात करते हैं तो कांग्रेस के पेट में मरोड़ होने लगती है। हम सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात करते हैं तो कांग्रेस का पेट दर्द इतना बढ़ जाता है कि बस पूछिए ही मत। और जब गलती से कोई बालाकोट का नाम लेता है तो कांग्रेस दल के मारे उछलने लगती है, छटपटाने लगती है। अब तो देश भी यह जान गया है कि कांग्रेस को यह दर्द होता क्यों है, किसकी हमदर्दी किसके लिए है। आपने देखा है ना, कांग्रेस के नेताओं के कश्मीर पर जो बयान आए, वो बयान किसके काम आ रहे हैं? कांग्रेस के नेता जो बोल रहे हैं उसका लाभ कौन उठा रहा है? कहां कहां उसका फायदा उठाया जा रहा है? कहां कहां इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, आपको पता है ना कौन कर रहा है, फायदा उठा रहा है? सही बताया आपने। कौन उठा रहा है फायदा? कौन उठा रहा है फायदा? अब कांग्रेस वालों को जवाब देना चाहिए कि आप ऐसा कैसा बोल रहे हो, ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हो जो पाकिस्तान के लोगों को अच्छा लगता है? अरे हिंदुस्तान के लोगों को अच्छा लगे, ये बोलने की भी तो हिम्मत दिखाओ जरा।
As campaigning continues in full swing in poll-bound Haryana, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addressed the public in Jharkhand today. He will address 3 election rallies in Beri, Prithla and Sohna.
बहुत सारे लोग ये कह रहे थे कोई मनोहर लाल जी कभी विधायक रहे नहीं है, कभी मंत्री रहे नहीं है, इनका कोई अनुभव नहीं है, ये सरकार कैसे चलाएंगे? और मैंने देखा कि साल, 1.5 साल, 2 साल तक इस प्रकार की चर्चाएं इस हरियाणा में चलती रही। लेकिन बहनों भाइयों, जिस तरीके से मनोहर लाल जी ने सरकार चलाई है, मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि हमारे मनोहर लाल जी खट्टर ने शासक के रूप में सरकार नहीं चलाई है, बल्कि एक सेवक के रूप में उन्होंने सरकार चलाने का काम किया।
PM Modi, along with BJP President Amit Shah, will also lead BJP's election campaign in Maharashtra today. While Prime Minister will address rally in Mumbai, BJP Chief Amit Shah to address public meetings in Aheri, Rajya, Vani and Savner districts. On Thursday, Prime Minister Modi once again launched an attack on the opposition parties as he addressed rallies in Bid, Satara and Pune. In Satara, the Prime Minister targeted the NCP and the Congress, saying there are differences between the Congress and the NCP, with leaders of both parties degrading each other. On the issue of development and farmers, the Prime Minister listed out the achievements of the governments at the centre and the state.
हमने ये सुनिश्चित किया है, केंद्र और राज्य सरकार ने हजारों करोड़ रुपए के प्रोजेक्ट यहां के लिए दिए हैं। इसमें सड़कों पर, हाईवे पर ही हजारों करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए जा रहे हैं। कराड़ गुहागर की 4 लेनिंग का काम हो या सातारा कागल की 6 लेनिंग का काम, ऐसे अनेक प्रकल्प पर आज काम चल रहा है।
Former Prime Minister and Congress leader Manmohan Singh addressed the media in Mumbai on Thursday, reacting to BJP's attack on the party over abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Manmohan Singh pointed out that Congress voted in favor of the abrogation of Article 370 but opposed the way in which it was implemented.
कांग्रेस पार्टी जब ये बिल पार्लियामेंट के सामने आया तो आर्टिकल 370 के ऊपर जो बातचीत हुई, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इसके हक में वोट दिया, इसके खिलाफ वोट नहीं दिया। कांग्रेस पार्टी का ये विचार है कि आर्टिकल 370 is a temporary measure, but it has to be changed. If a change has to be brought with the goodwill of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the manner in which it was implemented, with the high-handedness with which it was implemented is what we opposed. We were not opposed to the enactment of Article 370's abrogation.
Referring to PMC bank crisis, Singh said the BJP government at the centre and Maharashtra were unwilling to adopt people-friendly policies.
It's very unfortunate what has happened in the case of this bank. I appeal to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister to look into this matter and resolve these grievances of the affected 16 lakh. They should be heard immediately and their grievances redressed.
Election campaign is on in full swing in Haryana, with all political parties reaching out to the public on national and local issues. The issue of Satluj-Yamuna link canal is also back in the news as political parties try to cash in on the issue.
As the electoral atmosphere heats up in Haryana, decades-old electoral issues are being raised. The Satluj-Yamuna link canal controversy over the sharing of water of the two rivers that has been going on between Haryana and Punjab for years is just one of them. Despite a Supreme Court ruling in favour of Haryana, the state is yet to get its share of water from Punjab. However, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent remarks on the issue have raised the hopes of the people of the state.
हिंदुस्तान के किसानों के हक का पानी, हरियाणा के किसानों के हक का पानी 70 साल तक पाकिस्तान जाता रहा। ये मोदी पानी को रोकेगा, आपके घर तक लाएगा।
Opposition parties too have been bringing up the SYL issue during campaigंing.
जितने भी फार्मर्स हैं गांव में सिंचाई का पानी की बहुत दिक्कत थी। हाँ जी, इसी इलाके में खालका पंचकुला डिस्ट्रिक्ट की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, इसमें पंचकुला भी आता है। 20-20, 25-25 लाख रुपए उसमें लगता था एक ट्यूबवेल में, वो हमने बनाया है।
Even as political parties use the SYL issue to garner political mileage, experts believe it is important for the state.
पानी पंजाब से आता है, पंजाब को क्या पूरा मिल रहा है जितना उसका शेयर है? क्या वो हरियाणा को पूरा भेज पाते हैं या नहीं भेज पाएंगे? और भेजेंगे तो कहां से भेजेंगे? ये सारी समस्या जब सारे राजनीतिज्ञ अपनी पॉलिटिक्स से ऊपर उठ के एक टेबल पर बैठेंगे, बात करेंगे तो समाधान निकलेगा। पानी के दूसरे सोर्सेज भी हैं, उधर से लेकर आए और पानी दें।
Apart from the SYL canal issue, there are other issues too that are a bone of contention between Haryana and Punjab. These include a separate High Court for Haryana and demand for Haryana's stake in Chandigarh's Punjab University. Ravindra Singh Sharan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi has recommended his successor. In a letter to the centre on Friday, Chief Justice Gogoi recommended Justice S.A. Bobde, the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court, as his successor. Justice Gogoi, who was sworn in as the 46th Chief Justice of India on 3rd October 2018, will demit the office on November 17th. Official sources said the Chief Justice has gone by the convention to recommend the name of the next senior judge after him as his successor. With this, we'll halt in for a quick breather, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us. Welcome back to Midday News. The Supreme Court has directed the centre to transfer Assam NRC coordinator Pratik Hajela to Madhya Pradesh. A special bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi and Justices S.A. Bobde and R.F. Nariman ordered inter-cadre transfer of Hajela on deputation. The Apex Court has not mentioned the cause or reason for the transfer. Hajela had overseen the exercise of finalization and publication of Assam NRC. Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi has recommended his successor. In a letter to the centre on Friday, Chief Justice Gogoi recommended Justice S.A. Bobde, the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court, as his successor. Justice Gogoi, who was sworn in as the 46th Chief Justice of India on 3rd October 2018, will demit the office on November 17th. Official sources said the Chief Justice has gone by the convention to recommend the name of his next successor as him. The Enforcement Directorate is questioning senior NCP leader Praful Patel in connection with its money laundering probe linked to alleged illegal assets of late gangster Iqbal Mirchi. and aid of underworld don Daud Ibrahim. The Enforcement Directorate is expected to record Patel's statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. According to ED officials, Patel's Millennium Developers Private Limited constructed a building called CJ House in 2006-07 and its third and fourth floors were transferred to Mirchi's wife, Hajra Iqbal. Patel and his party have denied any wrongdoing in the deal. Union Minister Piyush Goyal has said that ED probe was launched after Patel's signatures were found on the documents, which were also signed by the wife of gangster Iqbal Mirchi. He said the investigation was free and fair and the government had no role in it. Iqbal Mirchi, a drug lord and an accused in the 1993 Mumbai serial blast case, died in London some years back. According to Union Minister Piyush Goyal, the government is probing online platforms Flipkart and Amazon over the alleged predatory pricing. Speaking to reporters in Mumbai, Goyal said the government is looking into heavy discounts offered by e-commerce platforms Amazon and Flipkart during their special festive sales. Warning of stringent action as per the law for any violation, he said. Detailed questionnaires have been sent to these companies and their responses awaited. Goyal added that e-commerce companies have no right to sell products at discounts that will result in retail sector incurring major loss.
ई-कॉमर्स कंपनी को कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि वो उसके प्रोडक्ट्स को डिस्काउंट करे, वो उसके प्रोडक्ट्स को प्रीडेटरी प्राइसिंग या सस्ते में बेच के और जो हमारी रिटेल की व्यवस्था है उसको नुकसान पहुंचाए। मेरे समक्ष कुछ कंप्लेंट्स आई हैं हाल ही में, उसके ऊपर कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री ने 2 दिन पहले भी क्वेश्चनर भेज के बहुत सारी जानकारियां मांगी है। एक सप्लीमेंट्री क्वेश्चनर दिया जा रहा है, उसकी पूरी डिटेल्स आने के बाद इसको जो नेसेसरी एक्शन होगा सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
India is among the fastest growing economies in the world, said Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Washington. She said that efforts are being made to make the economy grow faster. Speaking at an interactive session at IMF headquarters, Sitharaman said that investors can find no better place in the world than India. She also assured the international investors that the government is continuously working to bring reforms.
I hope that the negotiations will get concluded sooner. I know the intensity with which the negotiations are going on, and the few issues on which there could be some differences are being sorted out. I hope there will be an agreement sooner. But even otherwise, even with that, India is still growing as the fastest growing economy. And I'm certainly not risking a comparison with China, even though I'm tied with China in terms of the growth rate. But with all this said, the point cannot be missed that India is still growing the fastest in the given global scenario.
India has asked Pakistan to reconsider its decision of imposing a $20 service fee on pilgrims visiting the Kartarpur Gurdwara. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said both India and Pakistan reached an agreement on the corridor except on the matter of the service fee. Pakistan, however, is insisting on levying a service fee to meet the operational costs of the corridor linking the historic Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan's Kartarpur with Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in Gurdaspur district in Punjab. As per initial plan, both countries were to ink the agreement in the first half of November so that it can be thrown open to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. US President Donald Trump has welcomed Turkey's decision to announce a ceasefire in Syria. Turkey has agreed to a 5-day ceasefire in northern Syria to let Kurdish-led forces withdraw. The deal came after US Vice President Mike Pence and Turkey's president met for talks in Ankara. Pence also said that the US will help facilitate the withdrawal of Kurdish-led troops from what Turkey terms a safe zone on the border. Trump also said that sanctions on Turkey are no longer necessary. Turkey had launched an offensive on Kurdish forces once allied with the US in the fight against the Islamic State group.
They really did. The Kurds were great. Great day for the Kurds. It's really a great day for civilization. It's a great day for civilization. So I just want to thank everybody. And I was prepared to do that. I just want to thank and congratulate, though, President Erdogan. He's a friend of mine, and I'm glad we didn't have a problem because, frankly, he's a hell of a leader, and he's a tough man, he's a strong man, and he did the right thing, and I really appreciate it, and I will appreciate it in the future.
US will start levying punitive tariffs on $7.5 billion US worth of European Union goods from today. This after the World Trade Organization on Monday gave the go-ahead for the United States to impose the trade sanctions. The sanctions come in retaliation for the European plane maker Airbus receiving illegal subsidies. Aircraft produced in the EU will be slapped with 10% tariffs, while other products such as cheese and whiskey will be slapped with 25% tariffs. The EU is seeking WTO approval to impose tariffs on billions of dollars of US exports in a parallel dispute over subsidies to America's Boeing. NASA is set to create history today with an all-female spacewalk. NASA astronauts Jessica Meyer and Christina Koch are gearing up for their first spacewalk. Both astronauts are preparing for a spacewalk outside the International Space Station to replace a failed power controller, also known as a battery charge discharge unit. Astronauts were initially supposed to venture beyond the International Space Station on 21st of October. They are now slated to make their historic excursion today. Indian Space Research Organisation released the first illuminated image of the lunar surface acquired by Chandrayaan-2 on Thursday. The image was taken by the lunar mission's high-resolution imaging IR spectrometer payload designed to measure the solar radiation reflected off the moon's surface in 256 contiguous spectral bands from 100-kilometer lunar orbit. The major objective of IIRS is to understand the origin and evolution of the moon in a geological context by mapping the lunar surface mineral and volatile composition using signatures in the reflected solar spectrum. India's second lunar mission was launched on 22nd July and has been described as 95% success by ISRO chief K. Sivan. With this, it's a wrap on this edition of Midday News. Thank you so much for your time.